The 10 Unbreakable Laws of Trading, a masterclass in mindset and execution. Hello traders. Every trader dreams of extracting consistent profits from the market. Yet the harsh reality is that 99% of traders end up making monthly donations to the market's volatility. Why? Because they learn how to play the game, but they never truly learn its rules for managing loss. They understand the mechanics of placing a trade, but remain clueless about the psychological and strategic laws that govern long-term survival and success. So the critical question for you is this: do you want to be the trader perpetually stuck in a traffic jam of losses, or the one who by mastering the right rules accelerates directly into the fast lane of consistent profitability? Today we're going to discuss a book that reframes trading. It's not just a tool for making money, it presents trading as the science of decision-making under uncertainty. The book is called The Laws of Trading by Agustin Lebron. From this powerful work we have distilled 10 fundamental laws. If you internalize these, I guarantee your perspective on trading will shift. You will begin to view your trading account not as a lottery ticket but as a business you are the CEO of. But, a word of caution, do not skip through this. Every law is a key that unlocks the next. Miss the first and the second will only be half understood. Leave in the middle and the ultimate secret at the end will slip through your fingers. So get comfortable. We are about to begin a trading class where the teacher is unteed a book, but the market itself and the curriculum is forged in the fires of real-world experience. Law 1. Your decisions create your reality. Agustin Lebron's first law states, every trader does what their decisions make them do. This line might sound simple, almost trivial, but the raw truth is that your entire trading career is encapsulated within it. In trading, every profit, every loss, and every moment of struggle is born not from some external force but from your own decisions. Think about a typical morning. You open your charts, set your indicators, and everything looks perfect. Your system gives a clear buy signal. But then a voice from within whispers, I just took a big loss yesterday, let me play it safe today. And you don't click. What happens next? The market rockets upward without you, leaving you clutching your head in regret. The mistake wasn't made by the chart or the indicator. The mistake was made by your decision. This first law teaches us that the real enemy in trading isn't the external market, it's the internal mind. The market provides the same information to everyone, the same charts, the same news. The only difference is the decision each person makes based on that information. If your decision-making process is flawed, it doesn't matter how many indicators you cram onto your screen, how many new strategies you learn, or how many YouTube videos you watch. The result will be the same: loss, loss, and more loss. It's like owning a Ferrari but only knowing how to drive in reverse. The car is worth millions, but the result will be collisions, accidents, and injury. Your trading decisions are the CEO of your financial destiny. What you think becomes your click, and that click writes the future of your account. There are no excuses, no blame games, only your decisions. But this raises the pivotal question. If everything hinges on decision-making, what does a correct decision even look like? Where does that confidence come from? How can you tell if the step you are about to take will lead toward profit or push you into a chasm of losses? This is the twist, the secret hidden within the second law. And if you miss that, even this first law remains incomplete, because together they form the complete picture. Law 2. Logic over mood, the foundation of every bet. The first law taught us that trading is governed by our decisions. The second law by Agustin Lebron provides the crucial filter for those decisions. Every trader should ask themselves, is the bet I am placing coming from logic or from my current mood? This might sound like a joke, but the bitter truth is that 90% of traders trade based on mood, not logic. And then they wonder why the market deceived them. Think about this scenario. You wake up, have your tea, and scroll through Twitter. Someone posts Reliance is going to 5,000. Your brain jumps. This is a hot tip. You click buy immediately. But by evening, Reliance isn't going up, it's trending down. You then scream, the market robbed me. No, my friend, your mood made a fool of you, not the market. Lebron explains that every trade is essentially a bet, much like in poker. If your cards are right, you win. If they're wrong, you lose. The only difference is that in poker you re-betting against another player, while in trading you re-betting against the entire market. But the core question remains the same. Is your bet based on logic or on guessing? If you do want to ask yourself this question before every single trade, did my strategy call for this or did my mood? Then understand this. You are not a trader. You are a gambler. And we all know how the story ends for the gambler in a casino. The house always wins. The market is that house. This internal battle between decision and logic never ends. Sometimes your brain will say the chart looks good, but your heart will argue. We lost yesterday, do you want to enter today? Sometimes your heart will scream this is a sure thing, while your brain cautions all the indicators are saying the opposite. It's in this confusion that mistakes are made. The second law is this: interrogate every bet with logic, not mood, because trading is the one arena where a single emotional moment can devour months of accumulated profit. Now, if this is so straightforward, why can't everyone trade purely on logic? The answer is because the mind is constantly shifting: fear, greed, overconfidence, shaking the foundation of your bet every second. This leads us to the real twist. If decisions must come from logic, what is the actual framework for building that logic? How do you determine which logic is sound and which is just noise? The answer lies in the third law, which will reshape your entire trading mind. Law 3, the edge, the system, and the process. So far, we've established two things. 1. Every trade is your decision, and 2. That decision must be based on logic, not mood. But now comes the real question. What is logic in trading? It's not a vague feeling. When it's time to execute, saying "I have a good feeling" doesn't cut it. A trade requires an edge, a clear, measurable, repeatable advantage, and a process that replicates the same actions every single time. Agustin Lebron's third law states, create an edge, test it, and systematize it. Otherwise, you're just running a shop of hopes. Let's understand this with a story. Imagine a trader named Rahul. He once observed that when a stock rose 2% between 9:15 and 9:45 a.m., it often went up another 1.5% in the next hour. He thought, jackpot. I'll just buy during this window every day and watch the money flow in. The first week was pure joy. The second week, at the same time, there was news, volatility, slippage, and unexpected events. Rahul's account started sounding alarms. He thought maybe the timing was off and began changing variables, sometimes taking large positions, sometimes small, sometimes holding overnight. Within weeks, his supposed jackpot vanished. Why? Because Rahul didn't have an edge. He had an observation. An observation is not a repeatable advantage. It's an anecdote, not a system. An edge is simple. It's a reason, a cause that gives you a better probability than others. It only works if you make it measurable. You must know when to enter, where to place your stop loss, what your position size will be, when to exit, which time frame this system works in, how often this setup occurs. These details tell you whether your logic has been forged into a robust machine. Many traders hunt for an edge like villagers searching for buried treasure, but a real edge is like a kitchen recipe, precise measurements, step-by-step instructions, and it delivers the same flavor every single time. If you keep changing the amount of salt in your dish, people will complain. Trading is that kitchen. Lebron breaks down the edge into two parts. 1. The statistical edge. The numbers: win rate average, win average, loss expectancy. 2. The operational edge. The execution slippage, order types, timing, position sizing. One is useless without the other. The most brilliant strategy will fail with poor execution. Perfect execution is just gambling if there's no statistical edge behind it. This brings us to backtesting and forward testing. Many people backtest a strategy to death and see fantastic results, but that doesn't guarantee success in live markets. Historical data doesn't account for overfitting, survivorship bias, or real transaction costs. Therefore, Lebron emphasizes, forward test your edge on a small scale. Use micro-live positions, maintain a journal, and only then scale up. This is how an observation transforms into a system. The true power of the third law is that it reminds us trading is not poetry, it's an engineering process. And in engineering, the most critical element is repeatability. If your method does undeliver consistent results, it's not a method, it's a hypothesis in need of rethinking. However, creating an edge isn't enough. You must also protect it. Protection doesn't just mean a stop loss. It means ensuring your position size keeps your account alive when the market moves against you. Not getting lost in greed when the market moves in your favor. Not panicking when your system has a losing month. This operational discipline links the third law to the next critical law, because a brilliant edge is worthless if you don't have the framework to survive long enough for it to work. Law 4. If you can't manage risk, you won't survive. Agustin Lebron's fourth law is brutally simple. If you cannot manage your risk, you cannot last long in the market. This might sound boring, but it is the very lifeblood of trading. Risk management is the oxygen that keeps your trading career alive, and without oxygen, how long can anyone survive? Think about it. A new trader develops a strategy, finds an edge, and makes a 20% profit on the first trade, 15% on the second. Their confidence soars. On the third trade, they bet their entire capital. The market reverses and their account is wiped out. Their edge is now useless, their strategy irrelevant, because their capital is dead. This law teaches us that trading isn't just about winning, it's about surviving to stay in the game. The market will offer new opportunities every day, but if you destroy your capital, you will want to be alive to see them. Consider a mobile game where you have 100 coins. Each play risks 1 coin to win 2. If you play smartly, you have 100 chances to play, and the odds are you'll stay profitable. But if you bet 50 coins on your very first move and lose, the game is over, no matter how easy it was. Trading is exactly the same. Lebron states that managing risk means determining your position sizing, respecting your stop loss, and understanding that with every trade, you are not betting your house, your car, or your future. Every trade is a small experiment. If it works, great. If it doesn't, there will be another opportunity. The trap here is greed. A 5% profit today makes you want 50% tomorrow. A small winning lot makes you want to go all in next time. This is where people fail. Risk means discipline, and without discipline, trading is like driving a car without brakes. A crash is inevitable. So the fourth law declares, learn to survive before you learn to profit. Because trading is not a 100-meter sprint, it's a marathon. And marathon winners are those who control both their speed and their stamina. But there's a twist here. You might manage your risk, but another human weakness often shatters all risk rules. Emotions, greed, fear, and overconfidence are the invisible forces that demolish the best-laid plans. This leads us directly to the fifth law. Law 5. Your greatest enemy is your own emotions. Agustin Lebron's fifth law confronts this head-on. In trading, your greatest enemy is not the market but your own emotions. You might think, I know this. Avoid fear and greed. Everyone knows it, but who truly lives by it? You set a risk rule. I will not lose more than 2% on any trade. But the moment a position goes against you, your inner psychologist activates. Let S just move the stop loss a little further. The market will turn around, and instead of turning, the market continues against you. Your 2% loss becomes 10%. Your face shows the expression of someone caught cheating on an exam. This is the emotional trap. Greed says hold for a little more profit. Fear screams the market will crash, get out now. Hope whispers this stock will come back, just wait a little longer. And overconfidence declares I'm a master. All my setups will work. Lebron believes this quartet: fear, greed, hope, and overconfidence is the four-armed villain for any trader. Befriend them, and the market will show you no mercy. The market has no feelings. It doesn't care how hard you worked, how many videos you watched, or how many sleepless nights you spent on charts. The market is neutral. You win or you lose. The danger lies in the fact that your brain is not neutral. Say you make a good profit on a trade. Your brain tells you you're invincible now. Take a bigger position next time. You double your size on the next trade. But the market has no memory of your past win. It will hit you so hard that your previous profit evaporates. That's the effect of overconfidence. Lebron argues that the only way to defend against emotions is to follow a system. If you have written rules, you will take trades based on them no matter how much noise your brain creates. A trading journal, strict position sizing, and predefined exit rules are your shield. Otherwise, emotions will shatter your system in an instant. But this raises a bigger question. If we must do everything by rules and systems, will those rules work in every situation? Is the market always so linear that the same formula will work repeatedly? No. The market is a dynamic beast, sometimes calm, sometimes stormy, sometimes sideways, sometimes trending. This brings us to the next twist. If you fail to understand the market's changing nature, even all your rules and systems won't save you. This secret is hidden in the next law. Law 6. The market changes. Your system must adapt. Agustin Lebron's sixth law addresses this reality. The market changes all the time, and your system is only as good as its ability to catch that change. Under shaking like an earthquake after a tweet or an announcement. Lebron says if you think one system will last a lifetime, you are dreaming. The market changes and you must change with it. Here's a useful analogy. Your trading system is like a ship on the ocean. The sea is sometimes calm, sometimes stormy, and the winds constantly shift. A successful trader is the one who treats their rules not like a stone wall but like a rubber band, flexible, enough to stretch and adjust according to the market. Detecting a real market change isn't easy because often the brain deceives us. A couple of signals appear and you think, the trend has changed. But it's just noise. So how do you distinguish between noise and a genuine shift? This is where the sixth law leads you to the next one, because the seventh law explains how to use data, probability, and expectation to understand if a market change is real or just a trap. Law 7. Every trade is a probability, not a certainty. Agustin Lebron's seventh law grounds us in statistical reality. Every trade is a probability, not a certainty. You might think, I know that. Nothing in trading is guaranteed. Yes, everyone knows it, but who truly believes it? Odds is 55%, sometimes 60%, sometimes just 52%. The chances of winning can often be in your favor, but a guarantee, never. You will abandon your system midway. You every trade as a single bet. Think of how a casino operates. The house doesn't win every single bet. Trade as an independent coin toss. They know the outcome of each toss is uncertain, but over the entire series they will come out ahead. This is the probabilistic mindset. A new trader chases one thing. How often does my strategy win? They think an 80% win rate means a bulletproof strategy. But the truth is, no one has gotten rich in the market from win rate alone. Like you're winning on 10 such trades, but in the long run your account will be drained because the ratio is fundamentally flawed. The eighth law teaches us, don't chase win rate. Control your risk-reward ratio. If your ratio is correct, even a low win rate strategy can deliver consistent profits. But if everything hinges on risk-reward, why do traders still fail? Because the real battle isn't in creating the ratio, it's in following it. This is where true discipline is tested. Can you genuinely accept small losses? Can you ride a big profit without exiting too early? This is where the mind sets traps again. The promise to keep losses small is broken. The courage to hold for a big profit is lacking. And this very challenge pushes us toward the next law. Because if the risk-reward ratio is so critical, the real question is, how do you build the discipline to follow it consistently? The ninth law will provide the answer, and if you miss it, the benefit of all the previous laws will remain incomplete. Law 9 in trading: discipline is more powerful than knowledge. Agustin Lebron's ninth law addresses the core of execution. In trading, discipline holds more power than knowledge. You might think, but knowledge is everything. Indicators, strategies, news, analysis. That's what leads to victory. If knowledge alone made money, every trader would be a millionaire. The trading battlefield is not won from a book. It's won with mindset and discipline. Think about it. You know you should follow a risk-reward ratio. You wrote the rule. I will not lose more than 2% on any trade. But the moment the market touches your stop loss, your brain says, wait, just a little longer. Maybe it will reverse. Before you know it, a 2% loss becomes 10%. The mistake here wasn't a lack of knowledge. The mistake was a lack of discipline. You knew what to do, but you didn't do it. Lebron states that discipline is the bridge that turns knowledge into profit. Without discipline, a strategy is just a line in a book. Discipline brings it to life as a working system. Imagine going to the gym. Your trainer tells you to do 20 push-ups every day. That's the knowledge. But if you do it for 2 days and on the third day say, I am not in the mood, will you build a great body? No. Trading is exactly the same. You know the rules, but if you don't follow them, the result is zero. So how do you build this discipline? Lebron says, discipline isn't about motivational magic. It's the game of habit building. Create a checklist before every trade. Write down every entry and exit. Note every mistake in your journal. Gradually your mind will start working like a machine. But here lies the real danger: overconfidence. When you start winning by following discipline, your brain whispers, I don't need these rules anymore. I'm a pro. And that's precisely where the decline begins again. So the ninth law teaches us that the real superpower in trading isn't a strategy or luck. It's the boring, consistent adherence to your rules. Doing that mundane task over and over until it delivers extraordinary results. But if discipline is so critical, why do traders keep breaking it? Why does the brain constantly seek shortcuts? And what is the permanent solution to this? This secret is hidden in the 10th and final law. And believe me, if you understand this last law, the entire game of trading will be in your hands. Law 10. Trading is not a game against the market. It's a game of self-awareness. Agustin Lebron's 10th and ultimate law provides the philosophical cornerstone. Trading is not just a game of the market. It is a game of self-awareness. What does this mean? It means the market shows you a mirror every single day. In that mirror you see your true face, your greed, your fear, your overconfidence, your patience. The market returns to you exactly what you bring to it. Lebron states that trading is not an external battle. It is an internal war. You versus your own mind. The market is neutral. It will go up sometimes, down other times. But your decisions, your emotions, and your habits determine whether you become a winner or a loser in this game. You're sitting in front of the screen. A stock is rising. Your heart says bye-bye. It's getting away. Your brain argues, check the rules. Where's the stop loss? Is the risk-reward ratio correct? Whoever wins that internal argument writes the fate of your account. This is why the 10th law teaches us that trading isn't just about reading charts. It's about reading yourself. If you do want to understand your own behavior, your trigger points, your weaknesses, the market will keep teaching you the same lesson until you learn. Self-awareness means asking yourself after every trade, why did I take this trade? Was it part of my strategy or just an impulsive move? Why did I let the loss run? Why did I cut the profit so early? Until you are brutally honest with yourself, the market will keep deceiving you. Many traders hide their losses like children hiding a bad report card. They think, let me just show the profits and forget the losses. But you can't cheat the market. The market will expose every single weakness you have. So friends, the final law says this: to win in trading, you must conquer yourself before you can conquer the market. Master yourself, master your emotions, and only then will you master the market. Your move: if these 10 laws have made sense to you, then you now possess a complete framework. But is knowing them enough? No. There's a vast difference between knowing and doing. The final question is for you: will you merely listen to these laws and move on, or will you implement them and change your trading life? The market won't wait. But if you are prepared, the market can become a goldmine for you. So friends, these were the 10 secrets from Agustin Lebron's The Laws of Trading. But the real secret is now in your hands, transforming these laws into action. Now it's your turn. In the comments, tell me, which law hit you the hardest? If you found this guide helpful, please like this post, share it with your trader friends. And don't forget to subscribe, because the real game is just beginning. See you in the next video with new idea.